Are you playing the dating game? Are you sexually active? Today at the In Search of Me Cafe, find out how teens handle the pressures of dating and sex. Learn to understand relationships and dating at the In Search of Me Cafe.
Do you have a dream? Know what you wanna be? I'm in search of me. I've been waiting my whole life. Ooh, I've been waiting for my shot. I'ma take it to the top. Show the whole world what I've got. I've been waiting my whole life. Ooh, yeah, I'm in search of me. Oh, yes, I'm trying to be everything I dreamed.
Abusive relationships. Have any of you been in one?
I've been in one. It's more of a, you're kind of afraid to leave them because then you feel like you won't have somebody else, you won't get somebody else. And then you're also afraid because since they're abusive to you, when you're with them, well, what are they going to do when you leave them? That's going to make them even more mad.
Right.
And they don't want you to leave, especially if everything's about them. Mm-hmm. They want you to be around them, so, then, there's nothing for you. It's all about them. So it's really hard to get out of those and get away from them.
So was it purely just like verbal abuse, or was there ever any physical abuse?
There's a little bit of physical abuse because whenever I'm very strong-willed and hard-headed, so if I wasn't allowed to hang out with friends or I had to be controlled by him, it wouldn't go over well with me at all. Mm-hmm. And so it would just be us hitting on each other and just we'd start yelling at each other, and there'd be people around us too.
Right.
And there's not much you can do. There's been people who's had to restrain him and keep him away from me because they got terrified that he'd hurt me. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't be in control of my own life. Mm-hmm. And my friends would say, you just got to get out of it, but I didn't really know how. Mm-hmm. If he knew where I lived, he knew my classes, he knew just everything about me. So there's no way I could go and just hide out and just stay away. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely difficult to get out of there.
Well, I had a relationship pretty much just like yours, and I was younger, and I liked him. He was an older guy. It was so much fun to hang out with him. My friends thought I was cool, Well, he started to get abusive, and I just didn't like it. I've been around my parents. I know what it's like. I don't like it. And my sister told me he was a loser, and I had to get out. And I laughed at her, and I was like, oh, he's not a loser. He's going somewhere, blah, blah, blah. Didn't even have his GED yet. He dropped out, and he was done with school. But whatever, I kept going over to his house. We hung out all the time, and it kept going, and I couldn't take it anymore. I'd call my friends at night crying. He would text me, tell me he loved me all the time, and finally I left him. And he talked to all my friends, and he knew my parents' numbers. So he used to text my mom, and it was, oh, I just want her back. And so my mom loved him to death. She loved him. She's like, oh, he's such a great guy, blah, blah, blah. He's so good for you. You guys are perfect together. Because, yeah, whatever, we were a cute couple. But I was just like, Mom, you don't understand what he does when there's nobody there. You don't understand how mean he is to me. Or I'm like, oh, I'm going to the movies with my friends. You can't go to the movies. And it was just everything. I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do anything because I wasn't with him. I started taking him to work with me. It was pathetic because I just didn't want to get yelled at again. And so I would go through my day, and I would always check my phone because if I didn't reply quick enough, I got yelled at. And it was stupid stuff like that, but it drove me crazy.
What was it that was the moment where you decided that really this could not go on anymore, that you had to break up with him?
It was honestly, I was at my sister's house, and my sister's 29, and a bunch of her friends were hanging out, and I was talking to her about him, and she's like, Chelsea, you just can't be with him. And I started crying, and I was like, oh, but I like him so much. And she's like, explain to me what you like about him. And I couldn't tell you what I liked about him because there was nothing I liked about him. He was mean and he was cruel, whatever. He was cute and he kissed good, but it was whatever. But there was nothing about him emotionally that I liked. He was the meanest person on the planet to me, and nobody else saw it because when someone else was there, he treated me like gold, and that's what I liked. And it was the whatever, I can get through you yelling at me because you gave me something nice. Then it's just a cycle, and so yeah, I let you yell at me, and then something nice comes right after that. So instead of just trying to stop the fighting, I let it happen, because if it happened right away, then I knew something good was going to follow. And it was just this vicious cycle that I couldn't deal with anymore. And so honestly, if I didn't have my sister, I'd probably still be there. But my sister walked over to me and she's like, you just need to end it.
I understand where you come from with the whole everybody thinks, that he was so great or whatever. He's so great. He treats you like, you're his world and everything. And that's what people see. But, if they are seen as the abusive person, they're going to lose you quicker. But if they're seen as they give you the world, then they're going to have people say, oh, well, you're the one who's just giving up this person. You're just getting bored, and they call you names or whatever. So you're like, okay, well, maybe I am being the person in this, and he's really not that bad. But you have to take a step back and look at it, truly for what it is, which is not good. It's an abusive relationship, and you have to get out.
So Chelsea, you were talking about how you've had a bad experience, at least, with a relationship. Yeah. Have you had any that have been good?
Oh, I mean, the majority of them are usually good. You just get the bad apple. I mean, it happens. But I'd say a good relationship, it's just where obviously you're faithful to each other. You don't try to control the other person because you want them to be their own person, because that's why you like them. Mm-hmm. You like them for who they are, not what you can make them to be. And it's just you have to find somebody who does have like interests, not somebody that you think is cute. Go on a date with somebody that you think is cute and see if you have a like interest with them. And if you do, then keep it going. But if you don't, then keep them as a friend. Mm-hmm. And it's just you have to find it. You can't just rush into a relationship. Kids our age, it's called dating a relationship. No, you don't know the person, you're dating. When you go into a relationship, it's because you know who that person is and you want to be with them for a committed time.
A good relationship involves giving each other a certain amount of space. A relationship is kind of two different people who want to spend time together, who want to be together, have somebody there, just to be by their side a lot and do things with and, have nice nights with, have fun with. It's not, you're not getting married. I mean, that's way down the line, especially for kids our age, but they jump so serious right away.
Right.
And that's kind of where it starts, is that if you start a relationship off serious, there's nowhere to go. And then all of a sudden you get uninterested, and suddenly when you're like, all right, I'm really uninterested in this person anymore, and you want to leave, it's harder for you to leave because everybody's all serious about it.
Yeah, if you get into a relationship that's really serious before you've built the trust up with that person, that's why I think a lot of people get paranoid about the person they're with, or have to know where they're at 24/7. It's because they haven't taken the time to get to know the person, to build trust with that person.
Right.
And that's what a relationship builds off, trust.
Before you get into a relationship, I don't want to say be ready to get your heart broken, but know what's coming at you. Like before you get into, just know what's out. Like know that you have to trust the person. If you don't trust the person, then I don't think there is no real relationship.
And don't get attached too quickly.
Also know that you are young and that you're not going to stay with that person for the rest of your life. Have fun, have a good friend. Don't tell them you love them because you don't.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't agree with that at all, actually.
Really? You think you're going to be with the person that you meet down the street for the rest of your life?
Well, no, but you said that you won't be in love, but I've actually had that experience personally, and I don't agree with that at all because...
That's fair enough.
I mean, I went out with this guy for about a year, and I was in love with this kid. I mean, but we trusted each other, and our relationship was not abusive at all. It was literally just trust. And about her thing with the texting, we used to call each other like 24/7. We would talk, no kidding, for about 10 hours a day, which my mom got really mad about that phone bill, but but the point is,
it's for a good cause. It's for love. It's for love, Mom.
So my point is that I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's rare that kids our age will find love, but I don't think
it can happen.
Yeah,
maybe
I don't think
it's always a one.
Kids should understand what it is.
Yeah,
first,
you should understand
before
what it
you
is.
say it.
Yeah, before you go out and say I love you. I think you should understand what it is.
Yeah.